Hi, welcome back to episode 3 of Bitchin About Balls with Adrianne
And
Suhasini. Sue, either one. So I hope everyone liked our episode from last week. I think we did a lot of likes, dislikes, why we got into
yeah,
football, a little bit about dating, the 4 date whatever thing that I had. So this week, our topics are going to be a little different. We're going to get more into football basics. We want to talk about some of the other sports that are going on right now, and then get back into
our topics of
dating
dating.
questions.
Yes. Dating in
Yes,
Atlanta.
yes.
It's cuffing season now. So better get your lineups ready. Because it's
I
about to get cold.
know. It's cold. Like
Yeah.
I'm wearing an Eagles shirt because the Eagles are playing today and I'm watching the game later with someone. But it's getting cold.
It's sweater weather. Sweater weather.
Yeah. And it's like harder. I mean, like you can look cute in sweaters, but
Oh yeah.
it's you're like showing off less than I feel like in the summer. So then I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But
You can wear a cute sweater with some
nice
leggings,
boots.
nice boots,
Yeah.
faux leather tights, you know, the tights that look like your skin, but they're thermals. I have
Oh
some pairs of those.
yeah. I need to
Love
buy
them.
some of those.
Target.
Yeah, I need to buy some where it's
Yeah.
like the fleece lining on the
Yes.
inside, but it's like the nice. Yeah,
Yes.
I need to buy some. So,
Yeah. You ready?
ready. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, I'm going to pull up my list. Let's see. Okay, so first topic. So, we're going to first get into baseball because we know the World Series is happening. Even though I'm not a huge baseball fan, I know that you watch a lot of baseball.
Well, I played softball, but
Okay.
I dibble and dabble in it.
Okay. Okay.
Not really right now because, of course, the Braves aren't in it.
I know. Yeah.
Heartbroken, but
Yeah.
definitely I am. I'm wanting the Dodgers to win,
Okay.
so gotta go with them since they repping our division because we don't care for Canadian teams.
It's always annoying when they like get in the end. Like they're good and everything, but like in every sport, even in like the NBA, I'm like, really?
Yeah, we got to keep it with the U.S.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with that, and then of course,
But they also have like the one thing I do know is that the Dodgers have Freddie Freeman,
yes,
who was a Braves player.
yes. So
I do know
we
that.
got to root for Freddie,
Yeah.
first baseman. I actually played first base in high school.
Oh, okay.
It was fun. I liked it. I was talking mad shit. If you was not getting by me, I was getting your ass out.
I was like the least athletic person. I was. This is a sad story. It
Oh.
still haunts me to this day. When I was in 5th grade, we have like like our sports day and
Yeah.
stuff. So like I was so excited to like be part of at least one activity of sports day.
Okay.
Whether it was like what is it? Like we had like long jump, we had like tug of war, like we had all these like random things.
It's like your Olympics in
Yes.
elementary school.
Yes.
I love field
Yes.
day. That was my
Yes, yes. It was like a field day
I
thing.
love field day.
But then it was like we had to compete against the other schools. So yeah. So then they had like picked all these kids from like our class. And then like I didn't get picked. And I was like, but I'm the school president. I did not get picked. Because I was just
funny.
so horrible athletically. But then the following year, I moved schools because I moved.
Okay.
And I ended up being the standalone person in the hula hoop competition.
Hula hoop.
And I ended up winning that bitch. So you know what? Take that. But otherwise, I'm like not athletically inclined at all. I can throw a football and I can catch one.
Oh,
But
I was always one of the kids that was picked to play.
I was
always doing the 50-yard dash because I was the fastest girl in my elementary school. Probably one. Well, I was actually one of the fastest kids because I used to beat the boys, so I was up there. I was fast. And then of course I ran track. So then we played softball and volleyball. 4th and 5th graders can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played against each class, not against other schools. I wish we did that because what a whoop they.
I know it was actually really fun because like I said, in 5th grade, we didn't win. But in 6th grade, when I went to that other school, we ended up winning. And then we ended up getting a social, like an ice cream social party.
Oh, that
like
was
we had like a night party, whatever. And then we played we like hung out in the school cafeteria and like danced and had candy and ice cream and all that stuff.
That's cool.
As like a reward for winning sports day.
We played against our teachers. So our thing was we had a volleyball and kickball, and we played against our teachers.
Oh, that's fun.
And that was fun when you got a chance to beat the teachers.
Right. We did that in dental school, kind of. We had like a pie competition.
Middle school, we did that. The basketball teams, we played against our coaches and then faculty. So at the end of the year, we had like this huge season ending pep rally, and we got a chance to play against our coaches, teachers. It was, yeah.
That's fun.
That was fun. Gotta love middle school. I miss it.
Yeah, I didn't really like middle school, but I kind of liked high school though. I think my senior year of high school I loved. Middle school not so much.
I was like being at my middle school. I guess my schools were lit. I mean,
I was like nerdy and weird and and then it was like I moved schools right at 6th grade. So like I didn't have a ton of friends going into middle school. Made friends, but it was tough years. 7th grade was a little hard, but that's okay. It's what it is. Anyways, back to baseball. So yes, so Dodgers are playing Toronto. They're 1-1.
Yes.
This is the thing I will say about baseball. I think I would enjoy it more live if I could see the same box that you see on TV to know whether it's a ball or whether it's an out. Right. It's like I don't know that watching that live. But I enjoy going to like a live game.
Oh yeah, the games themselves, going to a game is different than watching it on TV. Yeah. Because you got the atmosphere of everybody, music, all type of stuff is going on at the actual game. Right. Versus being at home. And to me, because baseball is such a long sport, I would prefer going to the game to watch it versus watching it on TV. I get bored very easily. Right. And 3 hours sitting it there and just like, ball, walk, maybe a home run. Right. Right. But there at the game,
you have like all these other stimuli. Like my favorite of the Braves game is the paintbrush. Because I think it's sponsored by Home Depot, right? So it's like they'd have them like it's like the paintbrush versus like the screwdriver versus
the little run around the lab.
It's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is definitely fun when you see the mascots out there running and they got these huge things on their head and they try to run against what's his name? Speed.
Oh, that one too, where the people have to run against. Is it Speed or Flash?
Flash, Speed. It's fast.
Anyway, this is like really fast man who like beats everybody. Right. But yeah, I think I enjoy going to the games. It's just always a little bit harder for me to watch on TV because of that reason. But I will say that's the one thing I like about watching it on TV versus live. It's like I just have to follow what everyone else is saying because unless I actually see them physically hit the ball, I don't know whether it's a ball or an out. Like I just have to look at the board. So I don't know.
I can look at it and tell because I know how, well, I guess because I played, I knew how to watch for a certain particular pitch. And then I can be like, oh yeah, that was a ball. That was high. It was kind of low. I don't know why they called that a strike, but maybe because it was a little bit closer into the actual box. And that's the thing, like if you aren't really right behind home plate, you really won't be able to see it on TV. Well, you might be able to. It just depends on how the camera is set up. Right. But if the camera's behind the pitcher, you can literally see how the pitch is and you can primarily call it. But yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, it's also soccer season right now. I know Atlanta United has been playing. Yes. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been keeping up with like stats or anything though.
I haven't either.
But I know they're playing right now. It's the same thing though. I think actually physically going to soccer games are like super fun. Yes. Yes. Especially like here, the Atlanta team takes it very, very seriously. And they really go all out. Those tailgates are also super fun. So, I do enjoy watching soccer or, British football in like an atmosphere, like actually at the event more than watching it on TV. I remember there have been multiple times where I have like started watching a game and then maybe I like fell asleep or like walked away or something and like the score just didn't change.
Do they even show the games on TV? I think I may have seen it once. I think Petrie TV?
Yeah, I think it's like on the local channel or they show it on like Telemundo. Yeah. But then it's in Spanish, so like you just maybe have to get captions if you don't know Spanish. But I know they show it here.
Yeah.
But then they also show like because I was like born in England, all of my family I have all my mom's family still lives in England.
Okay.
So they're really big into like English Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the clubs.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So like you've got like FC, like Barcelona, Madrid. You've got Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City. So you've got like all of those teams that I think they're like really big into. So because of that, I will say they do show the Premier Leagues on TV as well, those games, which is nice. But I do like I love World Cup, which we'll talk about next year because it's in Atlanta.
But we hope.
Well, for a few games, maybe. I don't know. So I'm actually kind of mad. So if one of you is like on the board for the World Cup, please like shout out for me because I definitely signed up and they rejected me for tickets and for volunteering. I never heard back. So
I wanted to volunteer, but did I sign up?
Yeah, they sent me another email being like, you can register tomorrow for their pre-sale again to see if I can get tickets. But I wasn't accepted in the first round, I guess. But yeah, so hopefully if that, is still occurring, we'll get into soccer and probably World Cup stuff more.
Yes. And the Women's League. The Women's League.
Yeah.
I actually did a paper on the U.S. national women's team and their lawsuit back in 2021, 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah. That was my final paper in my first class of this quarter ending. I did my final paper.
Okay. I just remember like growing up, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Mia Hamm, Mia Hamm." Like, that's all I remember.
The '99 World Cup team. I got into it then. I was like, "Oh yeah, they I like this." They were good.
And then a few years ago, like maybe like 10 years ago or so, I think I got into it with them because I think they got really close or something happened. They got really close. But and then, another sob story of my life. When I was in elementary school, all the girls in my elementary school loved soccer. And so like whenever we had recess, they would always play soccer. But like once again, I'm not an athletic person, but obviously wanted to like make friends and, like be cool with everybody. So I decided to play soccer with them and they would always make me goalie because I was so bad. And then after they got mad at me for not blocking some of the goals because I don't want to get hit by the ball. So I ended up switching positions to like actually be on the field. And then I broke a girl's shin because I hit them too hard. So then they were like, okay, maybe we should just put you back to goalie.
Ooh.
And then when I was in dental school, I was on the indoor soccer team.
Okay.
Because I was just like, yeah, y'all need somebody, whatever. I know what soccer is. I just kick the ball, right? So
that's not all that you do.
Well, that's all I had to do.
It's a lot more.
They didn't ask me to do anything. They didn't ask me to do anything else. They just said block this girl and kick the ball. And I was like, that I could do. And yes. Okay. And I remember it was very traumatic because I actually, in one of the games, one of these girls ended up hitting me right in my boob. And then in the same game, a guy hit me in my butt. Like the ball hit my butt. And my butt avoided it from the goal. So I actually saved the goal.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You blocked?
I did.
Your body blocked it?
I blocked.
Yes.
Yes.
You're not just blocking with your hands. Your body is also a shield.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember there was an Indian girl on the other team we were playing because like every week we would play different teams because it was intramural. And so I remember one week we played this team and there was an Indian girl on their team. And my teammates were just like, they just looked at me and they're like, we want you to block the Indian girl the whole game. So the whole game was just two Indian girls against each other. And like everyone else was, doing whatever. But after that, I was like, yeah, soccer is not for me.
That's not fair.
Yeah, she was like a tiny Indian girl. And I guess they were just like, well, maybe you can beat her because she's not good either. Yeah. Yeah.
We got to do better with that. Y'all can let her play against some of the other.
Yeah. 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 I mean, clearly I was blocking goals, so I had more purpose there. But
it's just wrong. But okay.
Anyway, so that's that. We'll get to soccer stuff later in the year. But I think now we kind of want to jump back into football just because honestly, like football season is in its prime at the moment, especially with college football going on. I know NFL is still regular season, but there's a lot of exciting stuff going on in the college football world. So I think that's kind of why we're going to jump, like more into that right now.
Yes.
But I thought we could kind of start off first describing, I know last time we kind of got into like why we like football and, whatever, a little bit about our teams. But I think it's good if we kind of jump into like what our favorite teams are or like what we kind of look for when we're watching football. Why do we watch certain games versus others? I don't know if you want to start on the NFL front and then I can cover the college front.
Well, y'all know I'm a Packers fan, so I got to go with my Packers. And then, of course, I told y'all I like the NFC. That's my favorite conference. I feel like they're more competitive. It's a lot more competitive teams in that one. Favorite players. I just love my Packers. Jordan Love, I mean, he studied under Aaron Rodgers. I told y'all that I had a crush on Aaron Rodgers. That's gone. As far as players, I'm a defensive girl. So I love defense. I'm okay with offense. So I mean, we got to win, but defense wins championships. Offense wins games. Mm-hmm. So, favorite position, I like defensive ends, defensive backs. Yeah. They're not too big, but they're not too skinny. They fast. They blocking the quarterbacks, the wideouts. I just free safeties. That's what I like.
Oh yeah, I like safeties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times your safety is going to be your punt returner. So they play on offense sometimes. It just depends on the person.
Right.
So
that's true actually. I think I prefer defensive players more than offensive players. Mm-hmm. If we're talking physically, but also because of their ability. But some special teams as well.
Special teams, special people.
Special teams also help win games and championships.
They do, because them kicks, y'all are not punting, but field goals. Because some of y'all we need you.
Kick sixes, yes. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that because some of you may not know what we just said in the last 5 minutes. So we'll get into that. So obviously those are your NFL teams. Do you have any like college that you care about or like conferences or something that you care about?
The SEC. Georgia girl. So I got to go with country boys. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Down south.
Okay. So clearly you can tell what my NFL team is, but, and mainly too, like I'm not like a bandwagon Eagles fan because of like them winning, the Super Bowl or then getting close even the year before that. But because I think I said this last time, there's such a huge majority of Alabama players on that team. And considering that I follow the Alabama players once they get drafted and where they go, there's a huge majority of them on that team. So
Alabama players and Georgia team players are pretty much throughout the entire damn NFL.
Yep. There's probably at least one on every single team, if not more.
If you are really good, you are determined, you are going to be in the NFL.
Right.
if you do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Some of y'all teams, little sketch about some of the players.
Right.
And if you know what I'm talking about, if you know, but I'm not going to talk about it, but Shedeur Sanders needs to play Cleveland Browns. Hell.
Yeah, that's true.
Play that boy.
But yeah, so anyway, so that's my team. I will watch the Falcons because I live in Atlanta. And then, like I talked about this last time, there is definitely a discount sometimes for the Falcons. I just don't know what it is. I still haven't figured it out. But that's like my NFL thing. I do watch other teams, like I said, that have Alabama drafts on there. Like Mac Jones is now playing for the 49ers.
He's doing good.
He's doing really well. I'm really actually happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like pretty much like I follow where they go, but so I'll like watch them. I want them to do well. That's why someone needs to add me to your fantasy football team, because I would beat the shit out of you all, because I would pick all of these Alabama players and then we would just like fucking win. You know?
Hey.
Just saying. But anyway. But yeah, so those are kind of what I look for NFL. For college, because I went to Alabama and I was there like while we won 3 out of our 4 national championships. So it was like a really big deal when I was there. So obviously I still root for them. I still watch them. They are in the SEC conference, which is the Southeastern Conference.
Yep.
So you have all of these teams that are in the South competing against each other. As much as the Big Ten likes to say that they're the best, we don't think so. Let's see how many teams in the SEC are actually ranked in the top 15 right now, and then we'll have this conversation again. But that's why I think their defense, I think in the SEC is just so incredible to watch.
Oh yeah.
Especially because a lot of the Southeastern teams, we don't have NFL teams. Like growing up in Alabama, we didn't have an NFL team to root for. So for us, it was like college was a bigger deal than NFL was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So that's why like the Auburn Alabama rivalry is like huge, because we just didn't have an NFL team to watch. But yeah, so that's kind of what I watch for. And now what they have is the 16 like playoff ranking system. So pretty much you have your regular season where you're playing all your games. Of course, you have all your rivals that you play against, just dependent on, where you live, where that other team is from. Like I said, Auburn, Alabama are in the same state. So that's why, they have a big rivalry. So that's that. And then I usually watch other games as well, because I'm always looking at the ranking to see how can Alabama go up to number 1. So I usually watch every game within that ranking system to see if they lose, if there are other upsets. I think as some of you that may not be fans right now, as you get more into it, you might end up developing teams that you like, or you may, like even go to a game or watch a play and be like, that person was horrible. I don't like that team, or maybe I don't like this coach. And right. I think that's how it develops, right?
I think a lot of people, especially if they are knowing about the coach, and if the coach had previous coaching experience at a different team, they'll follow wherever that coach goes.
Right.
And then it's about your recruiting. And now with this huge push of NIL, which is name, image, likeliness, players are literally they're shipping themselves because they're making themselves a brand. And they're like, hey, I'm this big bad person, I'm going to the best team, so what can you bring me, because I know what I can bring to you.
Right.
Which is actually good. I feel like you should make a profit off of yourself.
Yeah.
If the college team is making money off of you, then why can't I make money off of you?
Right.
I mean, win-win situation. There are some things about it that I don't really care for, but this is for sports in general, not just football. But I do feel like there are some players that go to teams with the hope of thinking that they're going to get these huge brand deals, and you're not really producing what you're supposed to be doing, because it's a commitment. But
and I think also in a way, like I remember back in the day when we didn't have NIL, these players were playing their hearts out for these teams, because they really were, they had to do their best in order to get up there, to get drafted to
Yes.
get these great contracts,
Yes.
right? But now with the NIL, I think a lot of that has shifted and changed because you maybe don't have to play as well or as hard, but you're also earning a lot of money already, probably when you're, getting picked from college and recruited. So, yeah, you still got to play well if you're wanting to continue to the NFL,
Right.
but like maybe that drive is not as there as much because you're also getting money while you're in college for all of these other things, like all of these other brands. You may be such a great social media brand.
Yeah.
But maybe just not as good of a player, right? Because you're not maybe striving as hard to work on that. So I think there's some things. I'm glad that they're getting paid because so many people are watching off of that type of sporting entertainment. But at the same time, I think maybe just establish some boundaries.
I do feel like there should be some boundaries with it. I think the transfer portal is where it really changed the dynamic.
Yeah.
Because players are like, well, I don't need to be here because you're not giving me what I want, so I'm leaving. I do feel like there needs to be a cap on that. I don't feel like you can go from school to school to school to school because you're never going to get everything that you're wanting.
Right.
That's life. Right. I don't care wherever you go. You can go to a job and you may love it when you first started. And then there's some things down the road that you're thinking like, I really don't like it like that. But there's nothing that you can change about it other than try to change your own self to, be accommodating to that. But I think that is the part that irritates me the most, especially with me being a coach. You really can't build a team around that, especially when someone's intentions aren't about making the team better, going to getting championships, and bringing more money into the actual school. I think that now you have a lot of selfish athletes that they only think of themselves, which I get it. I understand it. I can understand both sides of it. But that has definitely changed the dynamic of it because it's like, but then also the recruiting. You can go to a team that may not be as well not knowledgeable, but as popular as another team, but you can make a name for yourself there. But still, there's still some.
And the amount of money they're willing to offer you to on certain schools versus others, where they can maybe provide more funding in one way than another. Like there's all that involved too.
Yeah. And coaches may not take it as seriously as another coach who actually is like, look, I want to build you as a person.
Right.
Because you're not going to always be playing this sport.
Right.
What can we do to make you a better human?
Right.
And teach you the basics of how to be able to manage your money. Don't buy all the flashiest things because that comes and goes. It loses value. There's not really anything that you're going to be able to gain from that. It's just you're making yourself more noticeable. Get pew pew pew.
Right.
And then of course, we all know about the girls. They're gonna flock to you. Putting yourself in predicaments of lawsuits, child support, you know, making babies, all of that stuff too. So it's kind of like it's a lot that comes with this whole NIL thing. But we're gonna get back to
we'll shift. We'll shift. So I think so main thing I think we want to go over today, just so we can help some of you. I've had a couple questions from people asking me as far as when watching a game, what am I really looking for? What's really happening? Like what I don't see where the ball is. What am I supposed to be looking for? What are the like basic rules? And so that's kind of what we want to go over as far as for our football portion.
Yes.
I'll let you start on that.
All right. So the main thing that we all are looking at is how do teams score? And what is it called when they score? When you see somebody running into the end zone. Now the end zone is on both sides. You see the little colorful little part of it, about maybe 10 feet-ish or so, that is blocked in where the field goal is, which is that big old H that's on both sides of the field. You have the end zone. That is what it's called. When you see people running into it, that is a touchdown. Mm-hmm. They score 6 points. Now you might be saying, okay, I saw 6, but then it didn't change to 7. What is that? So that 1 point that you see when they're lining up by the end zone and you see that person kicking the ball, field goal, that is 1 point. Now you might be confused. Wait a minute. I see them lining up like they're scoring a touchdown again. What is that? Is that another touchdown? No, that is a 2-point conversion. So those are the only times that you would actually see them score additional points, unless they're kicking a field goal after, if they aren't able to get a touchdown and they get 3 points.
Or a safety.
Or safety.
Those are fun.
Now,
those are really fun.
Now, a safety is when they get tackled into the end zone. That is different than a touchdown. So those are some basics of how you can score, or a touchback, but that too.
Right. So pretty much how it starts is that each team basically gets 4 downs, or basically 4 attempts to at least advance 10 yards on the field. So most teams are going to try in those first 3 times. They have their quarterback, who is their main position, who is throwing the ball, passing the ball to another player to go those 10 yards. So pretty much they're going to do whatever they can, whether it's run, throw the ball, whatever it is, to go those 10 yards, mm-hmm. because then they will then get their next set of 10 yards to continue to the advance to the field to hopefully get a touchdown.
Yes.
But if not, then they're within a certain range of the field, then maybe they attempt that field goal like we talked
Yes. The object is keep the ball on your side to get it to the end zone. Mm-hmm. That is the object of the game. You do not want the other team to have as much time with the ball as you.
Right. And then with those 4 downs, like we said, usually the first 3, they're trying to go the 10. So if they're on the 4th down and let's say it's like 4th and 7, that means that they still have 7 yards out of the 10 to get to finish the 10 yards.
Yes.
So a lot of times, depending on where a team is positioned on the field, if they're closer to their side of the field, then they're probably just going to kick the ball to the other team because they don't want to risk the other team somehow catching the ball or running for it or whatever it be.
Yes.
So a lot of times they just kick it to the other side.
Yes, they punt the ball to the other team, mm-hmm. to give them an opportunity to have their way far back, because the object is to get the ball as close to the end zone as possible so that they can start from your end and work their way down 90 feet of the actual field.
But what I will say is sometimes on 4th downs, so let's say you're really close on their side of the field, you're really close to the touch end zone. Maybe it's like a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2, meaning you have 1 or 2 yards to get to that. You've finished your 10 yards. Mm-hmm. Then a lot of times teams will continue to go for it, because if they're really close to the other edge of the field and let's say they still don't get it, then the other team may be starting closer on their end. That's so it. That you might see. Or on 4th downs, you'll see teams kick that field goal attempt for 3 yep. points so that they at least get some scoring abilities. So that is all up to their kicker. They make sure that they have a good kicker, unlike some teams that I wish had better ones. But that is another kind of way to score.
Yes.
Those are kind of, I think, basics. So yes. Like we talked about, quarterback is your main position, who is passing the ball, has that ball to kind of pass to other people.
Yes.
You have your offensive line and your defensive line. Your offense is the team is the part of the team that's trying to push the ball to continue to advance.
Yes.
And then your defense is the team that's trying to block the other team from doing that.
Yes. Your offensive line is really trying to protect your quarterback, keeping the other team from getting to the quarterback and either tackling him, causing him to have a fumble, or just distracting him by making incomplete passes and not gaining yardage. Now, there could be some times where you may see the quarterback standing far back from the offensive line. That is called a blitz, because he is protecting either himself and the ball and then wanting to either pass it or maybe give to the running back who may be right beside him or behind him. And they're trying to get yardage. Or he's just going to throw it like my boy Aaron Rodgers, Hail Mary King, and just throw that bitch down to the other end zone. And someone, by the chances of your wide receiver, could just be standing there like, hey, what's up? I'm right here. Go ahead, throw the ball to me because I'm going to play this game. Fuck the Cowboys because we do it every time. But anyway, those are when you have the best times of the game, when you see that big ass throw going all the way down and someone is pretty much beating your cornerbacks, your safeties, and your DBs, and you have a nice touchdown.
Right. So you have your running backs on offense who run the ball for you. You have your wide receivers who catch the ball for you. You've got some other players in there who are helping, keep, like you said, blocking them from getting to your quarterback. But that's the offensive line. And then defensive line, pretty much they're all just trying to block them from doing anything.
That's all they're doing. They're just trying to make sure the other team doesn't gain any yardage.
Right.
And in the possibility of them giving a fumble, they can run down and score on their end zone. And that also is a good thing too, especially when your team is behind and it's 2 minutes left into the game and you need to score fast, and that is your way of being able to do that by blocking a pass or tackling the quarterback and stealing the ball.
Yeah, yesterday was great. She's referencing the Alabama game yesterday.
That was down. Crazy.
So speaking of, because I actually wanted to get into that.
Okay.
So like I said, you have your offense, you have your defense, and then you also have your special teams. Your special teams are the ones when the other team's like kicking the ball, they're the ones who are receiving it. They're the ones who are helping with the field goal unit. Mm-hmm. So they help in different aspects. That's kind of why they're called special teams. But getting into that, yesterday was crazy with the Alabama game because there were so many like no calls. It was very irritating for a while. But one of the first few plays was actually South Carolina throwing the ball to their player. The player like fumbled. Well, he bobbled it because he didn't really fumble it. He never caught it. It was not a complete pass. So he like bobbled the ball, and then our player was there and just caught it and then just ran for a touchdown and got us 6 points. So that was great. But then you're right. Towards the end, it was very insane. It was 1 minute and 50 seconds, I think, left of the game.
Like that. Yeah.
And the quarterback on South Carolina, I really thought they were going to try to attempt a field goal, and I was just praying they wouldn't get it. But he ended up fumbled the ball, meaning that he was running with it and he did not get down to the ground with the ball. Instead, he ran with it and lost the ball before he fell down on it. And one of our players had no idea that he was on top of it until one of his other friends just bumped him and said, it's right there. And then he put his arm around it and held it. And Alabama got the ball, and we ended up getting a touchdown and getting a 2-point conversion and winning the game.
Yes.
That was insane.
Yes.
Even like the week before when Alabama played Tennessee, mm-hmm. and it was the play at the end of the half, which was crazy. I think it was like 9 seconds left, and Tennessee was at like, I don't remember, like 5-yard line or something, 2-yard line or something. And they ended up throwing the ball, and it got intercepted by us, meaning they threw the ball and our team caught it instead of theirs. Mm-hmm. And we caught it in the end zone. And my boy, Xavier Brown, ran that thing from one end zone to the other and scored us a touchdown before halftime.
That's a pick six.
Yes.
So if you ever if you ever hear somebody call it a pick six, that is exactly what that is.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, I would say main things to look out for when you are watching a game, whether it's live, whether it's on TV, and you want to seem like you know what's going on. I would say look to see who has the ball. Make sure the same color jersey that throws the ball also catches it, because then that means that that team still has the ball.
Yes.
And then I would say looking down at like the downs, like we talked about, whether it's a 2nd and 5, whether it's a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7s are always risky depending on, like I said, where you're located on the field.
Yes.
And then another big thing we didn't really talk about are penalty flags.
Oh, yeah.
So you may, be watching and you're like, oh, that was great. Like that was an interception, whatever. But there's a lot of common penalties that teams have if they kind of go beyond their boundaries or their rules.
Yes. You got face mask, you got illegal hands, you got roughing the passer, holding,
pass interference, neutral zone infraction,
false starts, because that's always
offsides. Which we'll get into those. But honestly, if you see a ref throw a yellow flag, it's a penalty, and don't get too excited just yet because we don't know what it's for.
Exactly.
It could either be on the offensive side or defensive side. Yes. So just hold off.
Just don't get too excited.
Just don't say anything.
Because sometimes they'll end up taking those yards back and you end up losing yardage. And you have to go farther than where you were because of the fact of the infraction. So sometimes it's good to cheer, and then sometimes it's like, hold up. Yeah. Like, especially if it's something that you really can't see. A lot of these are very blatant and you can see it and you can call it yourself. But if you aren't really sure, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. But also I would say too, like when you're watching it, keeping an eye on what penalty it is, because some of those depends on whether how many yards they lose, and if they lose downs. So that's another thing. Like you have penalties that are like 5 yards, which is like, okay, fine.
You can repeat that down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you actually just lose the down because you want to hit the quarterback.
Yeah.
Below the waist, or in
targeting.
That's another one.
Yeah.
You get targeted, you out the game.
And that's basically like if the crown of your helmet hits a defenseless player. So
yes.
So it could be 5 yards, but it could be 10 yards. It can be 15 yards. Losing a down, you may get a safety, and then you just lose the ball in general. So things to watch out for. But that's what I would say when you're watching. Keep an eye on the downs and the yards. Look for the yellow line on TV. That yellow line is not painted on the field, and it is just something that the TV does for us to understand where we're supposed to go. So look for the blue line, or it's like blue or black, which is basically where they're starting from. And then the yellow line is where they need to get those 10 yards.
Yes, if you're watching on TV. Now, if you're at the game, pay attention to the actual, you'll see these orange, big little things that people are running down.
It's like orange poles.
It's like cone-ish, but they're like poles. Look to see where the ball is, and that will tell you where it begins and where it ends. Where it ends is where you're wanting to gain that yardage. And just based upon where the ball is, tells you exactly how many yards you gained or how many you have lost, because you can lose yardage if you get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And the line of scrimmage is where the ball is hiked at, where the offense and defensive line is at.
Which is that black or blue line.
Yes.
On TV. Yes. So that's what I would say for basics to watch out for. So if you had no idea what was going on in football, hopefully this will help you. There's still a lot of football left to go this season for college and NFL. So if you want to try to watch a game, think about it, look into it, see what you can kind of figure out. And if you're like, you know what, I really didn't understand that at all. Yes. Let us know. Maybe we can break it down a little bit simpler. Yeah. I know we kind of went a little all over the place, but that's just kind of how our brains work.
We got to. So we got to explain it. And it's not one of those things where it's just we say one thing and you get it. It's just you got to watch it, understand it, and do a lot of research. I will tell you, if you really are into wanting to know more about it, I mean, Google football, basics, players,
watching games. Like that's how I learned.
Commentators, definitely listen to the commentators. They may be a little biased to certain teams, but what they're
like
saying,
Alabama, they hate us.
Listen to what they're saying. A lot of the commentators were former NFL and collegiate players, so they know their stuff. A lot of them have been coaches as well. Some of them are just analysts.
Yeah.
So just listen and take heed to what they're saying, because you don't want to be that girl out there cheering, thinking, oh, it's a touchdown. And they're looking at you, nah, bitch, it's a safety.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I would say listen before you cheer.
Yes.
And also just watch a few games. Like see if you figure out what's going on. See if you can guess what the next down and yards left are. That really helped me a lot when I first started watching.
Yes. And don't bug your boyfriend while he's sitting there. If he's like tuned in,
don't do that.
Don't be asking him questions because you might not have a boyfriend after that game.
Yeah, I would wait until either a timeout. I would wait if, hopefully there's no injuries, but if there's an injury, maybe then. I would ask maybe while the flag was thrown. If you see yellow, that means flag. So, like, maybe then ask, but don't ask like as someone is throwing a ball or running the ball. That's not the time to ask.
Ask during halftime.
Yep.
And if your boyfriend's team is losing bad,
don't ask. Don't ask.
Don't. Please
don't. Maybe go like I don't know.
Just go get him
dinner, maybe.
If y'all got some food, some tailgating food, go get him a plate.
Yeah.
Baby needs something because he going through some things.
You know what? Same for me. I will say that. Like, if I'm watching, like yesterday, I got really quiet. I was watching with my friends, and I got really quiet in the last couple of minutes, where I was like barely talking, and I was trying to hold it together because I was so nervous. And at that time, I just kept drinking some water and just breathing. I was texting one of my friends to like help me get through it. So yeah, we also need the same thing.
Yeah, just be supportive and just understand that certain words are triggers.
Yeah.
Don't be that nag. If you know you are naggy,
and maybe like if you know that like the other team did something good, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Just keep it to yourself.
Wait till after. Wait a couple of days, because sometimes these men, they take it to heart. I mean, I got brothers, so I know them. They take this stuff to heart. The whole week, they still talking about how that game was.
Yeah.
So, pick and choose your battles, because like I said, you say the wrong thing, you might be in that whole cuffing season with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You might be bringing up somebody else from starting lineup, the reserves. Like I said, just you want to be the main chick, shut up.
Yeah. Which now gets us into our next topic. Well, we have a little bit of time.
Dating.
So we thought we would kind of go over just a little bit today. Since we covered a lot of sports today, we'll do maybe less on the dating.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought we would talk about maybe like first date etiquette, how to ask for a first date, yes, how that kind of works, who pays, who doesn't, what are, certain things, I think is kind of what we were considering getting into.
Yes, definitely. I feel like the first date is you are getting to know that person and just getting to feel if there's a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily feel like, this is just me, I could be wrong, this is my personal opinion, this is just what I like. So don't try to chew me out in the comments or be like, this stupid heifer over here is dumb. But I like casual meetups for the first date. Going to a coffee shop, even though I don't drink coffee, but that's a good place to be able to have a good conversation with. Going to a park, finding something that you both like, just being out and about and just getting a feel of each other. Because, right, I mean, yeah, he might be trying to impress you, but I just think a lot of people have the notion that the first date should just be this all out, oh, you gotta wine and dine me type of thing. No. I'm gonna say it again. No. That is just me. Some women, that's their preference. Yeah. They want to go out, and I just think going to a fancy, smancy dinner on the first date, you're not really getting a good idea of the person.
Right.
And a lot of these guys don't want to pay for that.
Yeah.
Girl, if you just going out to eat, just take yourself. Go eat first, and then y'all meet up for maybe like a cute little, aftermath, or we can go to a little speakeasy, a little bar. But you want to be able to have a great conversation with that person.
Right.
You want to make sure that there's a liking in there. And right. I don't want to waste your time nor your money. I have my own. So
I think too, I think a big thing that people used to do was like dinner and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea of dinner, but with the whole movie thing, I think it's kind of hard because it's like you can't talk to the person. No. You can't get to know them.
No.
So like you're just watching a movie because you wanted to watch the movie and like maybe have someone hug you. I don't know. Like it's just, it doesn't make sense to me as like a first date thing. Mm-hmm. Like I think people maybe used to do. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're not really trying to hang out with the person and just watch the movie, that's a good first date thing. But like if you're actually trying to get to know this person, probably not a good idea. I agree with you. I think casual meetups are great initially. Um, maybe there's an interest that you guys have discussed, like depending on how much you guys have talked, of course. And so if there is that commonality interest, then you guys can do that. Maybe it's like you both enjoy a certain doing an activity together.
Right.
So that is a good thing. I love football. So if you take me to go watch a football game or like whatever, then you you just scored like 10 points with me. So like maybe that's something. Maybe like you said, going on a walk at the park, or like honestly, like even grabbing drinks. I don't think it has to be dinner anymore. I think it can just be like grabbing a drink. If you are someone who likes to have a social casual drink, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Or you know, I think those are good for firsts. Yes. Because also, like you said, there's still the whole thing of like who pays for what. So it's like if you're gonna go for this like $100 meal, yes, I can pay for that, but I feel bad making someone else pay that much for that. If maybe let's say the date it doesn't go that well, or maybe you don't really like the guy.
Yeah,
or,
I don't want to put that. You know, I don't want to put that expectation out there that all I did was I just wanted this fancy dinner.
Yeah.
And not really get to know the person.
Right.
Or I'm just using you for that. And I know a lot of the young girls are saying that they expect a man to take them to Ruth Chris, STK, all of that. No.
I'm vegetarian. I can't do that.
I'm not that person. I'm sensible when it comes to finances. So if I'm spending that much on one plate of food, I can go and grub out for a lot more, way less than doing that, or incorporating something. Like we can go to Putt Shack or Third Spot. These are nice little date night little
there's some spots in Atlanta.
Go to. That has food, drinks, music, competitiveness. It's just you're really learning about the person. You really want to see them in their element. And I feel like that to me makes the date more fun and interesting. And you really see who that person is, because I know you're going to try to impress me by your wallet. I'm not all about money.
Yeah.
I have my own, I work. So, okay, if that's all that you can give me, then you might as well be my sugar daddy. Because what else do you have? Like, I just feel like you have to have some substance.
Right.
And if that is what it is that you feel is going to be everything in the relationship, I'm bored already.
Yeah. And I think doing the activity thing is like a nice icebreaker.
Yes.
Because then you're like trying to learn, like you're both trying to figure out, okay, how do I, you know, play putt-putt or like darts or whatever. Like it's like a nice, like common thing that you guys are figuring out together. So then you also kind of learn a little bit about them as far as their working style, their working ability, your compatibility, and figuring things out together. So I think that's kind of a good idea too, honestly. So I kind of like the idea of that. And then two, like financially, yes, I think if it's something small, starting out, I am very old fashioned in the sense that, yes, I do expect for you, men, to pay for my first date. I do. I am not asking you to pay $100 for my first date, but if I'm getting like a $10 drink, I think you should be able to pay my $10 drink. Or, you know, whatever, my $10 entrance fee for putt-putt. I think you should be able to do that.
Right.
You know, that's.
Because who knows? I may want to decide to buy you a drink in the midst of it, because that could be a good thing. Oh, if I beat you in this round, then the next round is on you.
Right.
Like, you got to be able to be engaging, and you want to have that first date. You don't want it to be quick and easy and be like, okay, bye.
Right.
I want it to be able to just progress and be like, dang, we've been out a couple hours. I didn't even know. Like, I'm really enjoying that.
Those are the best dates.
Those are the best ones where it just flows, and it's not, there's no expectation of, well, I did this, so now you have to do this. And that is another thing, guys. Don't go on these dates with the impression of thinking, well, I paid for this, I'm gonna get some ass. We're not soliciting booty here. Okay? That's prostitution. Let it go. You ain't getting that. Now, if you want that, buy an escort. So, I mean,
there's maybe other people who want that, but I mean, not
us. There could be, but don't have that expectation on the first date that you are going to get some ass as a thank you for meeting up at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Or wherever you decide to go. That's if it leads to that, let it be natural.
It's not supposed to be like a transactional relationship.
It's prostitution. If that's it, that's soliciting ass.
Yeah.
Want to go to jail?
No.
Because who's a prostitute out here?
No.
I mean, there's some out here, but we ain't.
That's not us.
Not us. Sorry.
No.
We're not for sale.
No.
So.
No, I think that's a good call out. I think picking like an activity is a good idea. You know, they say that like they say to like pick activities or like it's like a scary thing or something. Like that's what they say people go to like, yes.
Yeah.
That's what they say go to like adventure parks or amusement parks and stuff, because then they're like, if you like help your date get scared or something, then like you'll know how they work, like a fight or flight response type thing.
Yeah, that's cute. I like that.
I don't like scary movies. Don't take me to one, but but you can take me to a roller coaster. I'll go.
I like thrills, so I'm a thrill seeker. So yeah, we can do that. Now, if you scared,
but nothing like deadly. Like, don't kill me.
We're not going bungee jumping the very first. We ain't jumping out of.
We're not doing like ATVs on our first date. No, I mean I love ATVs, but let's do that on like a third date. Just in case. We can't really talk on ATV.
Keep it cute. That's what I say. Keep it cute, and simplicity will take you so far when it comes to a first date. Don't be trying to go all out and spend your paycheck, and then you sitting there scratching your head thinking like, damn, I did all of this and it was for nothing. So simplicity first,
right,
leads to extravagant things later.
Right. And then also too, like we talked about financially, if it's a simpler thing, I think that's something that you also will feel more comfortable about having them pay. Yes. Now I always do the thing though, I always like pull out my wallet and then I'm like, I mean, it's here in case you need me to.
Right.
I did have one guy ask me to help pay for the date. It wasn't a lot. Like I didn't have to pay a lot, but like still, I was just kind of like you knew you were coming. So
that's my thing. If you know, my had always told me, if you are going out with the intentions of something happening transactionally, you should always have your own money regardless, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And same on that end. Like don't expect him to take you somewhere really nice if you feel like that's not up your lane either.
If
like,
you
that's not cool.
You can't afford that, don't be out here saying, well, I got a taste for this. And you know, in your pocket, your pockets are saying, no, we got a taste for McDonald's.
Yeah. That's not cool either.
Don't put that on somebody else. I mean, we're both adults, and
that's not gonna last. Like depending on the type of relationship you want, right? If you want something that's like maybe like a long lasting relationship that actually fulfills you mentally as well, then I just don't think that's it.
If I'm bringing the table, I want you to bring everything that goes on the table and underneath the table. Or you can bring another table. We can both have two tables.
Right.
We just got a lot of things to fill up.
Right.
But I'm not expecting you to just be like, hey, I'm busting out 1,000 on you.
No, that's fine.
I'm great.
You know what? Also, I like concerts. I think concerts are a good date idea.
It is, because then you start to find what music interests.
Yes.
And if you and I cannot vibe on music, bye.
We're gonna have a lot of car fights trying to decide what playlist to listen to. If that's the case.
Festivals. Those are really good.
Like food and wine festival stuff, or like music festival.
Bring your own food and drink, and you can have a nice little picnic.
Yeah,
I like that.
Oh yeah, or like farmers market things where you can like walk through and pick things. I think I'm gonna actually go to one next week. I'm excited. Not for a date, but just to go to the farmers market.
And since we're in Atlanta, we have the Beltline.
Yeah.
And you can go on nice walks, and it's 5 miles back and forth, depending on which side, or you can just keep on walking as far as you want. That is a good time to be able to get to know the person. There's bars where you can be like, hey, let's just take a little bit of a break. Let's sit right here, have a drink, sit outside, enjoy Mother Nature. It's getting a little chilly, but you can still do some things that's outside. I think like that is a really good option.
Sporting events. Great option if you like sports.
Yeah, don't just agree because he mentions it, because that's what he wants.
Yeah, don't do that.
You also have to make sure that you're comfortable in that space too. So if you're not comfortable going to that, then offer something else. Like, that's why I always say, just get out, go to an ice cream place. You can go get,
Yeah, you can start out simple. That's totally fine.
get some dessert.
That's why it really depends on like how well you know this person prior to that date.
That's
right.
Like,
Like if you guys have been talking for a couple weeks, then you hopefully know enough about each other that you can come up with a good idea.
Yeah.
But maybe, you know, you texted back and forth for a day or two, then yeah, maybe simpler like ice cream, whatever, a drink, something like that is probably easier than
yes.
Going to like a football game.
And ladies, you can suggest going out on a first date. I always feel like that's a good icebreaker to see if the person actually really likes you. Not necessarily just saying, hey, I want to go here, blah, blah, blah. You can just offer, so I'm thinking about going to such and such. Would you like to come? Like, just nudge sometimes. Because I know there's some guys that are nervous, and a lot of things of awkwardness. You know, COVID has changed a lot of dynamics and stuff. And then, you know, when people are in your DMs and you're talking, a lot of people think that that's dating, that you my bae after one conversation in a DM. No, that's not.
No.
But you can offer that if you feel like that person has your interest. And guys, don't think like, oh, she trying to emasculate me because she's asking. If you are liking that person and you just feel awkward of asking, those are the cutest things that you can do, is just offer a very simple date. Let's meet up somewhere.
So I'm usually used to dating people who are a bit more forward, who kind of are the ones who, you know, plan the date, or who are the ones who are like, want to take me out, or, you know, whatever. They come up with the ideas. This year, because I am a brand new changed woman, I have been doing that a little bit more myself, where I have now asked people to do things, but very casually, right? Like you said, like, hey, would you want to grab a drink after work? Hey, would you want to watch this game together? Hey, you know, so like simple things. And I mean, it works, because then you really do find out, okay, does this person actually want to hang out with me or not? But I think it's a good filtration system, because you also try to figure out, like, hey, do I like this person enough after this to want to continue to get to know them, or like vice versa?
Yeah.
Because then you also don't want to maybe necessarily waste your time. Maybe some people do, but you also don't want to like waste your time talking to a person and it's not really going anywhere, and you're just kind of leading both of each other on, and that's not good either.
Yeah.
So,
and it's easier because you don't have to worry about the awkwardness of, will he say no? Will she say yes? It could just be, well, they said no. Okay, bye. Ain't no, I got it off my shoulders. I tried. Moved on to the next.
Move on to the next.
That's not the end to be all. And don't be mad if you get rejected, guys. Don't go all out of your way calling a woman out of her name because she said no to you. Just know that might not be your person. And she might be a blessing in disguise by telling you, hey, I might not be shit. I'm helping you out. I'm going on to the next person, and vice versa. Women, don't feel bad if a guy says no to you, because he could be that blessing that you did not need.
Yeah, you probably don't want him anyways if he doesn't want you either.
No. And if it goes, just keep going back and forth, and there's nothing being offered of wanting to see or see where this can go, we're not wasting time.
So here's one thing I want to bring up really quickly, kind of before we end, just my last kind of little tidbit, I would say, on that.
Okay.
I would say, before we even get to the first date, how do we get to meet a person? And that is something I have been exploring this year. Obviously, yeah, like you have the apps and things like that. Sure, like you can meet people on there, whatever. But to be honest with you, I haven't really had much luck on there. But my personality, I think I'm just a bit more talkative. So it's easier for me to just, you know, go somewhere and start talking to somebody. But what I have noticed is I've been going to like more restaurants, eating out more, whatever. And then just like sitting at the bar top rather than sitting at a table, I have met a lot more people that way.
Yeah, you can meet a lot of people just by sitting there and just casually just out of the blue. You
Yeah.
might be drinking something that they're interested. Oh, that looks good. What is that? How does that taste? It looks so good. How is that? Okay, well, what are you here for? Blah blah blah.
Or you're like both watching the TV.
Yep.
Some game is on, or some whatever event, award show, whatever is on, and then you both are both watching it. I think that started a lot of conversation before. Maybe someone overhears your conversation with someone else, and then they want to start talking to you. That happened to us earlier in the year. So I think those are some ways too. I think people always ask, like, well, how do I meet people? Go join clubs, go join groups of things that you like, go find activities that you enjoy. I had a friend who signed up for like a dodgeball team, and then she like met all these people because of it. You know, maybe you are in a work environment that you are able to possibly meet someone there. I am not, because I only work mostly with women, so that doesn't work for me. But some of you maybe have that ability. Obviously, don't go against your HR rules if you have some, but that might be a way. I know a lot of people who met through work, and then you know, like I said, obviously dating apps, but even like joining, you know, teams. Atlanta has some cool stuff. I have not gotten to go yet, but I know they have like Atlanta meetups. I know they have a lot, like we talked about before. They have mixers.
Just a lot of different things that you can do for yourself. And if you are that person who is a little nervous about going places by yourself, there's tons of free things that you can do during the daytime.
Yep.
Or you can have a friend be like, hey, I really want to go to this place. I don't want to go by myself. Yep. But you like to go.
Yep.
Join. Facebook has a bunch of groups, dating online groups, and it's just putting yourself out there. And then also, you really have to be ready for what's to come when it comes to putting yourself out there. Yeah. I always say, well, I'm not going to say always, but from learning from my past experiences, it's going to come to you if it's meant for you. And you just be prepared for it. Now, I know earlier in the year, my head was not really, you know what I'm talking about. I wasn't into the whole thing about dating, but just being a little bit more personable. Because like I said,
I wasn't either, to be honest. Though the beginning of the year, I was like,
aura was more of acceptance.
I was more willing, but yeah.
I wasn't in the right headspace.
Dating is hard.
Yes, it is. And I also feel like you got to work on yourself before you expect somebody to come approach you. And that's why I said what I said, because I was working on myself back then, that I was just not really trying to even engage in that. And sometimes if you don't go looking for it, it comes to you.
Yeah.
So if you go with the intention of looking for someone, 9 times out of 10, that person is not your person. That's going to be the negative side of it. They might present something good, but ultimately their intentions may be different from yours. So go in it with,
like, sorry, I was just gonna say, like, I think you want to also come across secure though. Like, you don't want to go to events being like, oh, I'm looking for someone here. I hope there's somebody here. Like,
don't go to
something you enjoy. Like, we went to so many things this year that we just had fun, and it was like cool.
And it happened as it comes.
Somebody there,
yeah. Don't go with the intentions of meeting somebody, because you're going to end up being upset when it does not happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's where
that disappointment really like strikes.
Yeah. And it makes you feel like, well, damn, am I chopped liver?
Right.
Am I not approachable? Am I not pretty? You know, I see somebody else who may not be as attractive to me. In my eyes, I'm thinking, okay, I came in here cute, baddie.
Right.
But somebody else could be just this might not be as
this literally happened to us.
And you just sitting there like, am I? Whoa, okay. I mean, I had a guy tell me, "Oh my gosh, you're beautiful," and I'm sitting there, "Thank you." Okay, bye.
Just walked away.
Like I'm
just like walked away.
Like,
yeah.
Like, do I stink? Like, what is it? So if you don't have that. If you go with it with a positive mindset, then yeah, you may meet someone, you may not, but you at least have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think that was what it was. Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, that's
totally
fine. You just keep doing you, finding things you like, things you enjoy. You'll meet other people, surely. Especially living in a big city like Atlanta, you meet a lot of people.
And people come and go.
Yeah.
there's so much as far as work related here. People come in for different work projects, all types of things. So you just have to know that when you're ready, be ready, full mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, put yourself out there, do what you want to do things you enjoy, and let it come to you.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good stopping point for today.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Well, keep an eye out for episode 4 next week.
Yes.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Have a great week.
Time. Have a great week. Oh, and save the tatas. Happy Breast Awareness Month. And for all of those that are suffering, you are not suffering alone. Those who are family members of those who are in this journey, we are with you too. So definitely save the tatas.
Yep. And happy early Halloween.
Yes. Yes. For you googly people and uglies, and this is your time to shine.
It's actually really funny. There's a mixer happening, and it was so funny. I texted Adrianne. I was like, should we go? I was like, should we go to this mixer on Halloween? I think it'd be really fun. And she replied back and was like, there might be ugly people in disguise, so maybe we shouldn't go.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant to say there might be some unattractive people that you might thinking that because they're dressed up that they look better than what they are, and then you might meet them outside of that and be like, damn, I'm not attracted to you.
Which is exactly what I just said. So
I was trying to clean it up.
Anyways, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time on Bitchin' Bout Boss. Bye.